Hi, I'm Dave, and today I would like to talk with you about the new Rezzimax device. So I recently attended a Rezzimax conference. Sherrick Peck, the inventor and owner of this company, um, was presenting to us all of these wonderful techniques and things that you can do using vibrational resonance. I'm so excited about this thing. So more on this in a second. So let me just tell you my story really fast and catch you up with why I'm so obsessed with something like this. So when I was a teenager, I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. All right. So ulcers throughout the intestine. I think you can get the gist of that. Lots of inflammation, lots of pain. When I was 16 and a half, I was in the hospital and we were about ready to be let go and to go home. Things were looking really well, but things have turned for the worst, and I was hemorrhaging. So I had to have an emergency surgery to remove most of my large intestine. So now fast forward to today, I've been all reconnected and everything is working the way it should for the past 15, 17 years. But one thing has never been quite fixed up and regulated, and that was my nervous system connection to my guts. So I've always had these tremendous pains and bloatings and inflammation still, and my gut movement has just not been the same since that surgery. Well, introduce the Rezzimax. Now the first device is the new model. I'm going to show you the original model first. This is the device that has helped fix my guts. Okay. So the Rezzimax, why did I even get into this to begin with? Well, good question. I started foot zoning over 4.5 years ago, and my love for alternative medicine has increased just phenomenally. Back in 2020, there was a Foot Zone Association conference, and I attended it, and guess who was on there? The owner and inventor of the Rezzimax. So his name is Sherrick Peck, and he is a physical therapist. His story is phenomenal. So if you go look up Sherrick Peck or the Rezzimax on YouTube, you should be able to find some interviews with him. You gotta listen to his story. Anyways, he went on the conference for the Utah Foot Zone Association and talked about this phenomenal device. At the time, I was like, "Oh, hey, that's cool. That's one of 1,000 things I've heard of in the past little while. But that's cool, More power to people using healing devices." Fast forward to the beginning of 2023. Yes. So I started an herbal course through the Homegrown Herbalist School of Botanical Medicine, and Dr. Patrick Jones is the owner of that school and the teacher. And what a phenomenal teacher he is. I am his student, and I recommend herbs in my practice because of him. So thank you, Patrick. So he started to sell these devices on his website, and that really made me take a notice. It's like, okay, so the Utah Foot Zone Association really loves this invention, and now Sherrick Peck loves it. So I told that to my wife, and I'm like, I have been wanting to invest into something that will help my own health. Like, I've been the greatest, the greatest help has been on me with the foot zoning and everything else. So it's like, I want to be able to use this in my practice and be able to expand and do more. So we sat on this for about a month, and sure enough, we went and bought the device, and it was worth every penny. It has truly, truly helped me out more than I could ever tell you. The foot zoning has definitely helped with my digestive system, and I continue to learn all the time on different techniques and really focusing and honing in on those digestive organs in the feet. And that has been a huge blessing, but for some reason, it just hasn't touched the nerve and reconnect part of it. And so this is a nerve reconnector on steroids, okay? So let me just demonstrate a couple things here of what I've done to help fix my guts. So I'm going to turn it on. For this first part, we're going to go at these lights in the middle here. These are what's called algorithms or patterns. So they go through a certain number of minutes, and then they'll restart. It'll give you a little bit of a signal, and the pattern just goes over again. So there's a blue pattern, a green pattern, and then a red pattern. So for the digestive protocol, we're going to start with 1 round of the red, and we're going to do 4 rounds of the green. So the red is approximately, it's like 3 minutes and 26 seconds. The green pattern is 90 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and stand up. So you're going to put this device, it's got a funny little brain attachment, if you can see that. Really soft, but we put that on our belly button. And we'll go through the entire thing of red and then 4 greens, like I said. And what's happening here is that we're getting a lot of connection. A lot of nerves are realizing that, hey, you know, something is going on down there, and we need to put more attention to it. Send more reinforcements. So we're just sending gobs and gobs of information to the navel, which even since birth, I mean, into adulthood, it still has a vast amount of nerve endings there. So we are communicating with the digestive system with that one. Okay. The next part of this protocol for digestion is we're going to trace the large intestine. So you have several different connections in this Rezzimax kit. Okay. So this is the clear tip, and it is closest to what a knuckle feels like when I'm foot zoning. We like that clear plastic tip. So for this one, we're just going to stay on the levels and not on a pattern. And we're going to turn it up fairly high. And I'm going to stand up again to demonstrate here with what I've done to fix my guts. So we're going to start with the lower right quadrant of the abdominals. And I'm going to move it up. Going to hit that bottom of the rib cage. We're going to go over, going to hit the left rib cage, and then we're going to go down to the bottom left quadrant. I'm going to be here for about 10 seconds. This is just over the bladder area, just a few inches or a couple inches for me down from the belly button. And then you're going to repeat that pattern or that sequence 7 to 8 times. Okay. That is how we do a reconnect of the gut nerves. If you've ever had a hernia surgery, if you are dealing with that delayed stomach emptying one, gastroparesis, constipation, or Crohn's or colitis, any issues, IBS, can be greatly helped with this device because we're putting attention again to those organs. They're crying for help. They're painful and not working right. So let's bring the body more attention to that crying out area and help it out. And because we're dealing with the nerves, we are calming down the nervous system as well, so that the nerves aren't so angry all the time. Okay, and then so that's my journey. That takes me to this point in my life. I haven't had to take any probiotics or enzymes for the past 4 months or so. Ever since I did my first handful of these digestive protocols, I've been good to go. What a blessing. I am so humble and grateful for the many things that I've been able to discover. So this device is in beta testing mode. So Sherrick wanted all of the attendees of the conference to get one of these. You're going to get the same algorithm patterns. I'm going to turn it on. So now it's on. It has a wider range of the frequencies. It's the same set of frequencies, but you have a broader range. You can break up those frequencies even more than on the white device. So we can turn it up to increase that. or turn it down with the down button, simple enough. And then you just push the power button again to get into the algorithms. So you got the blue, green, red, and we didn't talk about white yet, but white is white noise. Sometimes you just need to do a pattern interrupt and just have the vibrations go, every which way, to just break up the routine. It's always good to break up the routine, right? So if you notice on both of these devices, actually, there are these funny looking wings. Those are to be used for scraping. Sherrick Peck patented this type of scraping. So gua sha anciently has been used with stones or just anything that is a hard edge, a piece of wood, and they would scrape to heal the body. Again, we're sending information to the affected area for those who are concerned about their face and beauty. And not just that, but doing this helps with lymphatic vessels as well. So look beautiful while you're working on those lymph nodes in the face. But yeah, he patented that technique with the vibrational resonance. Pretty cool, huh? So this device is waterproof. The other one is not. So if you ever get this one, do not submerge it in water or it will be gone. I have personally tested this one out in the shower. Still working just the way it did when I first got it, so that's a plus. So it is waterproof. The cool thing about this one is Sherrick is working on an app to connect this device with. So it is Bluetooth enabled, and you can time things. Without the app, you can still do the timer with different button presses of the 3 buttons back here. But the app will make the timers even easier to set and to do. And get this, with it being a Bluetooth connectable device, this little guy here is capable of upgrading. So you thought that, it's just our phones or computers, they need a system update or whatever every once in a while. You are now seeing a device that can also upgrade. From headquarters, Richmond, Utah, is where Sherrick lives. I guess he has his Rezzimax manufacturing plant, if I can think right. He manufactures these things in Logan, Utah. But they're going to be able to make updates to these, fix any glitches that might be going on. Because again, we're in beta testing mode for these. If you notice the number 20 on this device, this is literally the 20th device that was brought out of the factory. So that's what that 20 means. So what an honor it is to be part of this magnificent group and to test this device out. I had already emailed Sherrick a bunch of my thoughts so far on it, and he agreed with a bunch of them. He's like, yeah, we do need to take a look at this, upgrade that. Otherwise, still a phenomenal device. The main goal is to put the technology of that one into this one, because nothing will replace the shape and ergonomics of the Rezzimax Tuner Pro 2. It is situated in such a way that the curves and the design, the being able to handle it with both hands, everything that you see here, this device was not meant to look pretty. It was meant to be functional and to heal the human body. So that's why it looks the way it does. But it works well when you do certain attachments. Like one of my favorites, for example, the tuning forks. It works just beautifully behind the back. And you have other things that you can do with it to stimulate power spots or vagus nerve spots throughout the body. So that is really cool. So this design is never going to be replaced fully. Like, this is nice, pocket size, but this is necessary to get that, two-sided symmetrical information going to the body. Because as you can see, we have two sites here. We want to be able to harness that with just so many different ailments of the body. Wonderful device. I just wanted to give you a lot of a bigger video and more of my thoughts on this because it truly has been a game changer in my life. I have introduced this to many of my clients so far, and they have all just really loved it, and they love it when I bring it out for my foot zoning. It is truly a gift. So I just want to thank you guys for watching, and I look forward to communicating more with you. Remember, guys, you are significant.